Welcome to Module S5 of the Qlause Safety Series, Fire Safety and Emergency Preparedness. Fire is the emergency every workplace must be ready for, because when it happens fast. And the time to learn the plan is not while the alarm is sounding. In the next few minutes, we'll cover how fire starts and how to stop it starting, how it's detected, and exactly what to do when the alarm goes off, how to get out, where to go, and who does what. This is an awareness module. It prepares you to prevent, detect, and escape a fire safely. Let's begin. Here's what you'll be able to do by the end of this module. First, you'll understand how fire works, the 3 things it needs, so you can spot the conditions for a fire before there is one and take them away. Second, you'll know your workplace's early warning system, how fire is detected, what the alarm sounds like, and how to raise it yourself. Third, and most important, you'll know exactly how to evacuate, your exits, your assembly point, and the handful of rules that get everyone out alive. And fourth, you'll understand the honest limits, when a small fire might be tackled, when it absolutely must not be, and which emergency rules need real, certified training. Let's start with why fire earns its own module and why it's different from almost every other hazard. Fire is fast. A small flame can become a room-filling fire in a couple of minutes, and long before the flames reach you, the smoke will. Smoke is what actually harms and kills most people in a fire. It's hot, it's toxic, and it blinds you in seconds, turning a familiar room into a place you can't find your way out of. That's why fire is a preparedness topic, not just a prevention one. You cannot outthink a fire in the moment. You can only rely on what you already knew. Your exits, your alarm, your assembly point, before it started. So here is the ground rule of this whole module. When the alarm sounds, you leave. Every time. Not when you've saved your work. Not when you've finished the batch. Not once you've decided whether it's real. Every alarm is treated as a real fire until someone with the authority to say otherwise tells you it's over. The false alarm that cost you 10 minutes is a good day. The real fire you ignored because it's probably just a drill is the one that doesn't give the time back. And nothing you could go back for. No tool, no phone, no unfinished job is worth more than the walk to the door. When it sounds, you go. To prevent fire, it helps to know what it needs. And it needs exactly 3 things, together at the same time. We call it the fire triangle. First, fuel. Anything that burns. Wood, paper, cardboard, plastics, flammable liquids and their vapors, dusts, gases. Second, heat, a source hot enough to ignite that fuel, a spark, a flame, a hot surface, an overloaded cable, friction. And third, oxygen, which is simply in the air all around us. Bring those 3 together and you have fire. It's that simple. And here's why it matters to you. Take away any one side of the triangle and there is no fire. Almost everything we do to prevent fire is really just keeping one of those 3 sides away from the other 2. So where do workplace fires actually begin? Most trace back to a short list of causes. Learn them, and you'll spot the risk before it becomes a fire. Electrical faults, overloaded sockets, damaged cables, and equipment left running and overheating. Hot work, welding, grinding, and cutting, which throw sparks that can smolder for hours before they flare. Flammable liquids and gases, fuels, solvents, and their vapors, which ignite far more easily than the liquid itself. Combustible dust and waste, fine dust, oily rags, and a buildup of packaging and rubbish that turns a spark into a blaze. And heat sources near fuel, heaters. Here's the good news hidden in that triangle. The best firefighting is the fire that never starts, and preventing it is mostly ordinary, everyday discipline. Keep heat and fuel apart. Store flammables properly, away from ignition sources, and never let them pile up near heaters or electrics. Keep it tidy. Waste, packaging, oily rags, and dust are fuel, so don't let them accumulate. Good housekeeping is fire prevention you can see. Keep it clear. Never block or wedge open a fire door. Never store anything in an escape route or in front of an extinguisher or a call point. The day you need them, you'll need them instantly. And keep it reported. A damaged cable, a scorched socket, a heater too close to boxes, report it, because you may be the only person who noticed. A quick word on the different kinds of fire, because it decides which extinguisher is safe to use, and using the wrong one can make things far worse. Fires are grouped by what's burning. Ordinary combustibles, wood, paper, cloth, plastics. Flammable liquids, fuels, solvents, paints, flammable gases. Electrical fires, anything live. And cooking oils and fats, in kitchens. Different extinguishers are made for different groups, and the labels, colors, and letters used to mark them vary from country to country. So don't try to memorize a chart from a video. Learn the two things that are true everywhere. Water must never go on electrical or on burning oil, and every extinguisher is marked with the fires it's for. Match the extinguisher to the fire, and if you can't, don't get. Now, extinguishers, and this is where honesty matters, because a video cannot qualify you to fight a fire. Attempting even a small fire is only ever a choice, never a duty, and only when four things are all true at once. The fire is small, no bigger than a waste bin, and not spreading. You have the right type of extinguisher for what's burning. Your escape route is behind you, so you're never trapped by the fire you're fighting, and you have actually been trained to use the equipment. If any one of those is missing, get out instead. Extinguishers are for buying you a path to the exit, never for heroics. And the technique itself, aiming at the base of the fire and stopping the moment it isn't working, is a hands-on skill you learn on a real training course, not from me. Let's make the boundary unmistakable, because this is the decision that saves lives. Get out. Do not fight if the fire is already spreading beyond a tiny area. Get out if there is any real smoke, because smoke will beat you long before the flames do. Get out if you're not trained or don't have the right extinguisher. And get out if you feel even a flicker of doubt, because if part of you is asking whether you should run, that part is right. There is no prize for staying. A building can be rebuilt, you cannot. Raising the alarm and getting yourself and others out safely is not the lesser option. It is the whole job, and it is enough. Between a fire starting and you needing to leave sits your early warning system. And knowing it is part of your job, today, not on the day. Know how fire is detected in your area. Smoke and heat detectors that trigger automatically, and manual call points, the break glass or push points on the walls, that let you raise the alarm yourself the instant you see fire or smoke. Know what your alarm actually sounds like so you recognize it immediately and don't waste seconds wondering. And if you discover a fire, raise the alarm first, before anything else, before you even think about fighting it. Never assume someone else has called it in, and never assume a sounding alarm is just a test. Raising it early is what gives everyone else their seconds. So if you're the one who finds it, here's the order. And the order matters as much as the actions. 1. Raise the alarm. Hit the nearest call point. Shout. Get the warning out to everyone. 2. Get the emergency call made. Your site's fire number or the public emergency number with the location. If others are around, direct someone to do this while you keep moving. 3. Leave by your nearest safe exit, helping anyone who needs it, closing doors behind you to slow the fire. 4. Do not fight it, unless every one of those 4 conditions from earlier is true, and even then, only with your exit behind you. And 5. Go straight to your assembly point. Alarm, call, evacuate, assemble. Learn those 5 in order, and you already know what to do. Now the heart of it, getting out. And a handful of rules carry almost all of the safety. Use your nearest safe exit, not necessarily the way you came in. Always know 2 ways out of any area you work in, because the nearest exit may be exactly where the fire is. Never use a lift in a fire. It can fail or open onto the fire. Take the stairs. If there's smoke, get low and move fast. The cleaner, cooler air is near the floor, and staying low can be the difference between finding the exit and not. Close doors behind you as you go to hold the fire and smoke back. And move with purpose, but don't run and don't push. A calm, quick walk gets everyone out. A panicked crush does not. Once you're out, the job isn't quite finished. There's one more discipline, and it's the one people break. Go straight to your assembly point. the agreed safe place, well away from the building, and stay there. Report in so you can be counted. The roll call is how the wardens know everyone is out, and a missing name is what sends the fire service searching a burning building. And here is the rule that must never bend. Never go back inside for anything or anyone until the emergency services or your fire warden declare it safe. Not for a colleague you think is still in. You tell a warden who tells the professionals. Not for a bag, a phone, a pet, a laptop, nothing. An emergency runs on a few trained people and everyone else knowing the plan. So know who's who before you ever need them. Fire wardens, or fire marshals, are trained to sweep their area, direct people to exits, run the roll call at the assembly point, and liaise with the fire service. They wear a marker, often a high-vis tabard so you can find them fast. Trained first aiders handle injuries until professional help arrives. And everyone else, that's most of us, has one job. Know the plan, leave quickly and calmly when the alarm sounds. Help those around you, and follow the warden's directions. These trained roles take real, practical courses to hold. But the system only works if the rest of us know our part. Leave and let them lead. Before the law, 3 practical things worth carrying in your head because they're the one people forget in the moment. First, before you open any door during a fire, feel it with the back of your hand. If it's hot, there's fire on the other side. Leave it shut and use your other way out. Second, if someone's clothing catches fire, don't let them run. It feeds the flames. Stop, drop, and roll. Get them to the ground and smother it, and cool a burn with water afterwards. Third, again, because it's the one that saves the most. In smoke, stay low. The breathable air is near the floor. 3 small habits learned now that your future self may be very grateful you already knew. Let's gather this whole module into 3 words you can carry on to any site in any building. Prevent it. Keep heat and fuel apart. Keep the place tidy. Keep the escape routes and the equipment clear. Most fires are prevented long before they'd start. Detect it. Know your alarm sound, know where the call points are, and raise the alarm the instant you see fire or smoke, without waiting for anyone. Escape it. Know your 2 ways out, your assembly point, and the rules. Stay low, close doors, no lifts, and never go back. Prevent, detect, escape. If everyone in a building lived by just those 3, a fire would find an empty, orderly building. And that is exactly the goal. One honest note about the law. The principles here, prevent ignition, detect early, evacuate to a safe point, are true everywhere. But the detailed rules are local. In South Africa, the Occupational Health and Safety Act and its regulations, alongside the National Building and Fire Standards, set the fire and emergency duties. In the United States, OSHA's standards for exit routes, emergency action plans, and fire protection apply, together with the national fire codes. Across Europe, the Framework Directive requires employers to plan for firefighting, first aid, and evacuation, carried into each country's own fire law. And ISO 45001, in its Emergency Preparedness Clause, wraps these into a management system. But above all of them sits the one that matters most in the moment, your own. Let's be precise about what you've just done. This module is awareness training. It prepares you to prevent fires, to recognize and raise the alarm, and, the part that matters most, to evacuate quickly, calmly, and safely, and to assemble and be counted. What it does not do is qualify you to fight a real fire, to act as a fire warden or marshal, or to give first aid. Using extinguishers on live fire, sweeping a building, running an evacuation, and treating casualties are all trained, practical, certified roles under your local rules, and good ones to volunteer for. Knowing the edge of your own training is not a gap. It's exactly what keeps you useful and alive in a real emergency. Let's land the 5 things worth keeping from this module. 1. Fire needs heat, fuel, and oxygen together. Take away any one, and prevention is mostly keeping heat and fuel apart with good housekeeping. 2. Smoke is the real danger, and fire moves in seconds, so preparation beats reaction every time. 3. When the alarm sounds, you leave. Every time, by your nearest safe exit, and never using a lift. 4. Get to your assembly point, get counted, and never go back inside until it's declared safe. And 5. Above all, Raising the alarm and getting out safely is the whole job. Fighting fire is a trained choice, never your duty, and never worth your life. That's the end of Module S5. Thank you for taking fire seriously, because preparation is the whole of fire safety. 3 things before you go. First, download the free companion pack for this module at Qlause.app. It includes the 10-question quiz, a 1-page toolbox talk summary you can run with your own team, an attendance register, and a fire safety and evacuation readiness checklist. Second, this is Module 5 of a series. Next up is S, Chemical Safety and Hazard Communication, where we make sense of the labels and safety data sheets on everything you handle. And third, remember the 3 words in any building: prevent it, detect it, escape it. Stay sharp, look after each other, and we'll see you in Module S6.